Hi you guys, happy Valentine's Day. I am here in my kitchen, actually trying to bake some Valentine's Day cookies. I'm using a sugar cookie Betty Crocker mix, which to be honest with you probably isn't gonna taste that great, but it's more just for like the fun activity to decorate. Some cookies, do something festive for Valentine's Day. Because as you know, even single people can enjoy being festive for Valentine's Day. I went ahead and decorated my kitchen and my Christmas tree for the Valentine's Day holiday, and yeah, it's just fun to participate. Love applies in all areas of your life, not just romantic love, but love of, friendship and family members and anybody in your life that makes you feel special or that you look up to or that really adds value to your life. It could be teachers, it could be coworkers. So I just love to still participate in Valentine's Day. And yeah, so I picked up the Betty Crocker mix and some Pillsbury Funfetti frosting with Jimmy's. It's cute. I don't know if you've seen it in your local market, but it's got like red and white hearts, like Jimmy sprinkles, I guess. So I am here melting my butter because the recipe calls for a whole stick of butter per package, actually, which is a lot. Yeah, I'm doing that, and here, I'll try to keep the camera out here. I'm also cooking myself a little appetizer of mozzarella sticks, which I may have overcooked a little bit because I started talking on this video. Wow, look at my hair. Let those cool off for a little bit. But yeah, anyway, so I thought I would come on and do a quick video. As you know, Valentine's Day can always sort of be a little bit of a mix of emotions if you are not paired up with somebody. And I do think it's important to remember, as I mentioned, that it's not just about romantic love. And yeah, I just, love comes in so many forms and so many different types of relationships, as I mentioned. So this video is just a reminder of that, but also I wanted to kind of come and sort of talk a little bit about my day. I had a really interesting text message actually from a friend who I actually did date for a couple of months. Really nice guy. I just didn't feel like anything was there, but decided he would be a great friend. I had eventually I met somebody and was in a relationship for a while, and he ended up meeting someone as well, and things were working out for them, and they're still together. And so as he was seeing her, his new girlfriend, this is my friend, we both just sort of we still kept in touch text messaging, but we really didn't spend any time together at all. I think out of respect for the fact that he was in a relationship, which I completely understand, and respect, absolutely. And yeah, so I just sent a message today, a text, because I hadn't spoken to him in a while, and I said, hey, happy Valentine's Day. I sent a really cute little picture of my dog. She had these really adorable, actually I have a picture here on my fridge I wanted to show you. So I posted this, not posted, I texted a picture of my dog because I thought it was so cute, and it's Valentine's Day themed, and it was harmless. I sent it to all my friends, and just wished him a happy Valentine's Day, and so I got this message back from him saying like, hey, I know we agreed to be friends like a long time ago, but my girlfriend is not comfortable. My girlfriend, he didn't say she wasn't comfortable, but he basically said like, I happened to mention it to my girlfriend that we're still in touch, and basically that she had asked him to place a boundary between us, and that we couldn't be friends anymore. And yeah, it's not like the best news, but at the same point, I completely understand and respect it so much. And if I were her, I would probably feel the same way. And so I'm not upset by any means. And I totally responded and was like, hey, I'm like, oh my God, like, I completely understand. I think were my exact words. And I'm like, please don't feel bad. And I meant it. Like, please don't feel bad. Like, I completely understand. Like, I wish you both nothing but the best. And left it at that. And I was just thinking, I'm like, man, I really respect him so much for doing that. And even though like we were literally just friends, like if we wanted to pursue things with each other, it would have happened. Like I met him first, so like way before she met him. So that's what would have happened, is we would have pursued it, but we never did. I never did because I just didn't feel that connection with him. But he's a great person, and I was happy to have him as a friend. Anyways, but the whole thing just kind of made me think of, it just kind of brought me back to my own relationship, because I had a situation like that with my ex where he claimed to have friends that these were people that he like met on a dating app, and there were many of them, like 5, and he's like, yeah, they're just friends, and like told me about like all these things that were wrong with each one of them or whatever. And I wanted to be trusting, I wanted to be secure. And I believed him. He was a really good liar. And I believed him that, at least at first, that these people were just friends. And so, and so I even met one of them actually. And, I remember thinking back when this was a thing, I'm like, yeah, why would I have a problem with him having friends? Like, if he says they're friends, they're friends. So stupid of me. Not saying that it's not possible, but I think the fact that there were like 5 of them, all people that he had dated in the past that he just stayed friends with, I think that was naive of me, and I wish that I recognized that earlier on, but I didn't. And so when he presented the idea, presented the fact that he supposedly had all of these friends that he had dated or whatever before that didn't pan out to be anything, I was thinking, I'm like, well, why doesn't he just, because he lived out of state. I didn't mention this. We lived in separate states when we met. And lived actually in separate states the duration of our, like the whole time we were together. And so I was thinking, I'm like, if you have all these people that are supposedly friends, women that are friends, then why don't you just have them all over one night when I'm there visiting, and I can meet all of them at once. If they're all friends, then like, wouldn't they know each other? And if they don't, like, why don't they? If they are such great friends, that you're not willing to, like, you know, place a boundary there because now you have a girlfriend. And he never did. And I only met one of them, and it just felt off. Like, the girl had a boyfriend, but her boyfriend didn't come. And we did like a brunch or something at my boyfriend's apartment, and she showed up at the door. She showed up like an hour and a half late, so we were all like starving, and which I thought was really rude. First of all, like, you have people waiting on you an hour and a half. Like, do you have any consideration for other people? So we were all starving. She shows up with her kid, who was like, I don't know, 7 or something. And she comes to the door. I'm expecting to like this is somebody who supposedly his really, really great friend. And she comes to the door, and I had on this like this pink, like, Lululemon, like, type of zip up shirt. And she doesn't even like, I don't even think she said hi when she came to the door. She just goes, I have that. And I was like, oh, like, hi, nice to meet you. Like, expecting to shake a hand or, you know, a friendly hug or something like that. Because again, I'm thinking like, okay, this person is really, really like very good friends with my boyfriend. And I, you know, was considering a future with him. And so my natural empathic way about me, trusting way about me, is to welcome that person and like welcome a connection, you know, with me, because we both have, in my mind, you know, I thought what we both have in common is that we both really care about this person, your friend and my significant other. We both care about him. And so, yeah, it was just really weird. Like, I really tried to, you know, engage with this person, with this woman, and it just felt weird. Like, something didn't feel right. And actually my ex and I ended up getting into an argument over it because I just didn't feel comfortable. It was just a vibe. And we got into this big fight, and I just wasn't comfortable. Like, he would be hanging out with these people, like, one-on-one, like, when I would be back home where I live in my state, and I just wasn't comfortable with it because I didn't know these people. And then the one person that I did meet, it was like a very weird interaction. I keep looking back here because I'm melting my butter. And I'm gonna have some of my snacks. Yeah, it was just weird. Anyways, the reason why I bring this up is because the text that I got from my friend, who basically told me, like, hey, I'm really sorry, but like, we can't be friends anymore because I have a girlfriend and she's not comfortable. It made me think of my experience with my ex and how he absolutely refused to give up these female friends who he really had nothing in common with, because I specifically asked him, other than the fact that they met on a dating app and dated. And it just made me realize, like, wow, I really wish that my ex had handled things the same way that my friend, or my ex-friend now, handled things, out of respect for his girlfriend. But when you're dating a narcissist, it took me a while to understand, to recognize that these women friends were not friends. They were narcissistic supply for him. And so that is why he was so resistant and to give up his roster, basically, I recognized later on, like, these women were his narcissistic supply, and they were women that were on his roster. And yeah, I guess I just wanted to share that story because it just really, like, it's just such confirmation that, like, the more time that goes on, the more, like, every day it feels like I get, like, more and more confirmation that, like, I absolutely made the right decision. It wasn't with the right person previously, and just, like, I thought about, like, you know, today being Valentine's Day, I thought about what I was doing last year around this time when we were together, and how he treated me. And I can remember we were actually on vacation together in Norway, and because we were away together, I didn't get flowers because we were literally, like, on a cruise ship, like, different stops and everything. I don't know if you can get flowers on a cruise ship. We had stopped, we were on a cruise ship, but we had ended up stopping I think we were in Amsterdam. And we actually got off the cruise ship early because they changed some of the stops on the cruise. And then, so we ended up in Amsterdam. And sorry, my dog is, like, whining. So we got off in Amsterdam, and we were at a hotel. We ended up staying for, like, a couple of nights of our trip. And he didn't get me flowers, but he ended up getting me a massage every night that we were there. So I think it was, like, 3 nights. And he just, like, hopped on his phone, like, you know, booked 3 massages for me for every night, but then said something, like, really not nice. Like, it just felt like he was kind of throwing it at me, and it wasn't with, like, I don't know how to explain it. He made some comment that, like, yeah, enjoy your massages, because he had, like, picked a fight with me, and I don't even remember what it was. I didn't do anything. Like, this guy used to just pick fights for no reason. Over, like, really minor, like, nothing type fights, but would be quite cruel. And if you've dated a narcissist or you're familiar with their behavior, this is the kind of thing that they do. They are emotionally dependent on you, and so they will, what I mean by that is they'll literally, like, instigate a fight with you to get, like, a reaction out of you, because they need those reactions from you because they are literally empty inside. And so basically that's what he was doing with me. And they say really awful, cruel things, and to make you feel really bad inside and make you upset. And then they see that you're upset, and they like those emotions because they don't have any. So yeah, it just kind of reminded me of, like, I was just reminiscing basically, and, like, thinking about what that was like last year, and how, like, terrible he made me feel on Valentine's Day. And I'm literally, like, today, like, is so much better. Today without him is so much better because I have my peace. I have friends around me that I didn't have last year, that are amazing, that are just such a joy to have in my life. And I have my little girl with me, my little Daisy, the little puppy on the picture. And I don't have to, I'm not dealing with that type of abusive behavior. So I really have a lot to be grateful for. And I don't know, I just felt like doing this quick video, and I hope that you can, I don't know, listen to my story, and maybe that you'll remember that, or recognize or appreciate if you have peace in your life, and, you know, just appreciate and value that peace is you can't really put a price on that. You know what I mean? Oh, and speaking of like current events, speaking of these types of relationships, these abusive relationships, I've been paying close close attention to the Kanye West and Bianca Censori story, and if you are sort of up to date with pop culture, you may have heard of the story about how I think it was at the Grammys, Bianca Censori, his wife, showed up at the Grammys wearing a completely see-through dress. Like, it was basically like she was completely nude, no underwear, anything like that. And it was just so distasteful. And, you know, I've kept an eye on that relationship for a while now. And if you follow Kanye West, you know that he is 100% a narcissist. And I recognized it in that relationship. The look in her eyes, everything, because I was there. I was in that same place emotionally and mentally in my past relationship, and I knew what was going on. I knew that she was in an abusive relationship, and my heart just went out to her. And a lot of people will say, you know, like, oh, she knows exactly what she's doing, she's fine, but, you know, she's enjoying the money, this and that. But the thing is that I think it's really hard for people to understand the level of brainwashing that occurs in these types of relationships. And so a lot of people speak based on like absolute ignorance, and it's men and women. It's really like unbelievable. But, you know, I have to say, like, before I went through my own experiences with these types of relationships, I was one of those people that's like, ugh, well, if she stays and she deserves what she's getting, blah, 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 you know, which is really, it's just a really ignorant judgment, basically, because unless you have gone through this or you have been like heavily educated on abusive relationships, you just don't understand the level of manipulation, control, brainwashing that occurs in these types of relationships. You know, one of the greatest examples that I can give of that is like cult leaders that, you know, you look at these people that are being horribly treated and you're just like, well, why are they staying? Like, they literally, when you are being controlled and manipulated, your decision making and your logical thinking, it's not what it was. You're mentally just significantly mentally at a disadvantage. I don't know if I'm articulating that well enough, but if you know what I'm talking about, this will all make sense. So yeah, I was, you know, there's of course now like rumors that they are getting divorced. I believe it. I had hoped when I saw Bianca at the Grammys on TV or in the media or whatever, show up like that. I knew that was something that he had made her do, or that she was heavily under his influence to do. And I just was thinking, like, my gosh, my heart is breaking for her, and I don't like. I really wish that her family would intervene. And so I hope that that's what's happened. And I guess we'll find out to see, excuse me, soon, if those rumors are true or not. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because it is recent in the news in terms of narcissists, as well as Donald Trump's Instagram post today from the White House. I'm sure you have heard about what it says. If you haven't, here I will reread it for you. Oh, Donald Trump. Here it is. So he made a post that says, roses are red, violets are blue, come here illegally and we will deport you. And it's sort of like has like a Valentine's Day theme here. Anyways, I couldn't believe, I could believe it. I'm not shocked. It's kind of like when Kanye West does something like totally ridiculous. Same thing, you're not shocked, but you're also kind of shocked. Because these people they will take everything so far because they need that reaction from people. Negative, positive, doesn't matter. If it's negative, it's even better quality, like fuel for them. So yeah, I think we are approaching some pretty scary times, particularly with the president. Not to get political, I really don't like politics, but I'm definitely concerned with Trump in office, and I don't know. There's so many things that are happening, but and by the way, I don't disagree with the fact that people need to come to the States legally, but I do disagree with the execution of that post. I think that it was really immature. I think that it was very distasteful and really unprofessional. Like, that is not the way I want my country represented. And I'm not against being tough and firm on laws and policies, but I am against being rude, being immature, being unprofessional. I looked at that and I literally thought like a 5-year-old got a hold of the White House Instagram account and posted something so childish and rude and immature. Anyways, just wanted to vent about that. But I'm always open and to other people's feedback and thoughts about that situation or about any of the stuff that I've talked about today in this video. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. My butter is pretty much melted, so I'm going to turn that off and go ahead and make my cookies and do some cookie decorating with my neighbor. But anyways, I hope that everybody had a nice Valentine's Day, and if you're not coupled up with somebody, please don't feel bad. Just know that you are enough, and that hopefully you have some relationships in your life that make you feel special, or appreciated and loved. You certainly deserve to be loved and appreciated, and I think it's definitely worth waiting for that person who's going to truly value you and respect you and actually love you and treat you right, So anyways, I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new, and if you're new, I was going to say if you're new and you would like to subscribe, I would love to have you. And if you're not new, thank you for stopping by to watch my video, and feel free to add a like if you enjoyed it. And yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Bye guys.